This first question comes from an awesome pickleball pro and a great friend of ours, and she just so happens to be our guest from the previous episode of the podcast. Here's a question from Andrea Koop.
Hey, Lindsey, it's Andrea, coming at you from Grand Rapids, Michigan. My dog, Callie, and I have a few questions for you. I come from a big family. Maggie and I are big pickleballers. Our sister, Sarah, plays too. We're wondering about you and Riley. I know you have a big family. How many siblings do you have? Where do you fall in the order? For instance, I'm the oldest. And do they all play pickleball like my siblings do? Can't wait to hear.
Yeah. So I have two older sisters, two younger brothers, and two younger sisters. And our younger siblings, Hayley, Carly, and Cody, all play. And they're actually pretty good. Our brother Cody is built kind of just like Riley, kind of tall, skinny, really, really quick. And he's starting to play even a little bit more now. So, him playing and Carly and Hayley playing, we have 5 of us. So odd numbers is a little tough, but they play. Our parents mostly just watch us play, and we have our 2 older sisters, and they're busy with their own lives. So not a lot of time for pickleball, but over half the family plays, so that's not bad.
This next one is the first of a 2-parter, and it comes from another one of our favorite pickleball pros. Here's a question from Steve Deakin.
Hey, Linz. This is SDP here coming from Canada. I have so many questions to ask you, and I don't think there's enough time in the show for me to ask them all. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit. Number 1, I know I want to know what sort of talk you have in the middle of a timeout when Riley goes one way to the bench and you go the other way to the back of the court. I want to know what goes on in the committee meeting of one behind the court, because I see the lips moving, but I can't really tell what you're saying.
I'm going to say this. Steve Deakin is a huge punk, but he is also one of the nicest people on the pro tour. To answer his question, and I get asked this quite a bit, nothing that I'm saying to myself is typically very positive. I'm very critical of myself. I'm very hard on myself. I don't like making mistakes. If I make one mistake, it's one too many. So I'm usually kind of yelling at myself and telling myself to, do better and be better and stuff like that. So to answer the question, it's really not a whole lot of nice things. And if I were to say the stuff to you guys, I'd probably lose my contract. So I'm not going to, but it's just some tough love.
Here is question 2 from Steve Deakin.
Okay.
Number 2, this is a really important one. Congrats, by the way, on your recent pregnancy. I want to know, if it's a boy, would you happen to consider, naming Stefan? Steve? I think that sounds great. Number 3, if it's a girl, I really like Stephanie. Anyways, take care, and I hope you're well.
Oh, what a quack. Holy cow. Well, it's definitely a girl, so I guess Stefan is out of the picture. Stephanie is a very pretty name. I don't think I'll go with Stephanie. There's actually a Full House episode with Stephanie Tanner, and she's getting made fun of because people are calling her Step on Me. So I don't think I could name my child Stephanie because of that alone. But I appreciate Steve giving some good name suggestions, and who knows in the future, if it's a boy, maybe Steve or Steven will be the front runner.
All right, so this next question comes from a very good friend of ours, and that is the one and only Gizmo.
What's going on, y'all? It's Gizmo Pickleball, tuning in from Pickleball Farm. Penny wants to say hello. But, Eddie and Webby, appreciate y'all having me on the show. My question for Miss Lindsey Newman Adams is, so at the higher level, we see teams that stack. There's half stack, there's a full stack. There's all sorts of different ways to mix it up. One thing that I've noticed that you and Riley do is serve and switch. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Why do you do that? What advantages do you think that it gives you, when you do that versus stacking normally? Other than that, I hope we get back to playing tournaments soon. Hope all is well with everybody. And I gotta finish feeding the rest of my bad animals.
Oh, Gizmo. Who
I love
doesn't
when he
love Gizmo?
Yeah, I love when he has those videos on the pickleball farm. That's great stuff.
Oh, those are awesome. Yeah, so I guess to answer Gizmo's question, there's really only one reason why we do, I think Hella Spar called it the Newman switch. And that is because my memory is so bad, is half the time I don't know where I'm going, where I'm supposed to be, what side of the court I'm on. So I feel like if we start off on one side of the court and then we switch, I have a little bit better chance at remembering where I'm supposed to be, following the next point or the side out. Um, and so that would be that. And then to answer why we don't just do, what's the strategy, I guess, would be sometimes just to give our opponents another look, a different look. Sometimes, if I'm playing the forehand in the middle side, sometimes, Riley wants his turn with this forehand in the middle, and I get that. So a lot of times we just kind of switch things up because we figure why not. I don't know if there's a whole lot of strategy involved. It's that I'm so spacey and forgetful that I have to kind of know where I'm at on the court so I can focus on the point.
This next question comes from one of the all-time greats in the world of professional pickleball. Here's a question from Tyson McGuffin.
Hey Lindsey, what's up? Hope you're having a good time on the Eddie and Webby show. Quick thing here I want to ask. So probably the most competitive comment I've ever heard out of Riley was we were playing batting Colin at the Florida Grand Slam, and I think it was like 10-7 in game 3. We were up, and anyhow there was this lob that went up, and I was kind of in a position to hit an overhead, and Riley obviously wanted to slide over and take it, and we ended up like both kind of colliding at the hip, and then Riley ended up falling into the kitchen after he hit a winner, and he looked at me and he said, "Tyson, get the F out of the way." Kind of a fun story, but has there been any other time, or I guess has there been a time where Riley kind of let you know his true feelings like that?
Oh, yeah, Riley's feisty. A lot of people don't know that about Riley because he's kind of quiet. He's a little timid, but Riley's pretty feisty. I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised he did that. But to answer Tyson's question, we have a picture of Riley and I at NASA that someone took, and I'm ducking, I'm squatting at the kitchen line, and Riley's above me hitting this, about to hit an overhead, and Tyson probably didn't know at the time, but I have learned my lesson when there's a ball that goes up, and I have any doubt that Riley wants it or thinks he needs to get it, that he's bigger than I am. He's taller, he's stronger. He's probably gonna take it whether I like it or not. So my best option is to duck or run out of the way and let him take it. So, Riley's really good about kind of saving his emotions for, the hotel room after the match or afterwards. Typically he won't sass me like that, like he did with Tyson, because he knows better, and I'm still the older sister. But there are times where he will let you know that he wants a certain ball, and you better get out of the way, or you're going to be in trouble.
All right, this next question comes from one of the many great pickleball playing Newman family members out there. Here's a question from Lindsey's sister, Hayley.
Hey Linz, it's your favorite sister and soon-to-be favorite babysitter. My question for you is, after a super long day of playing in a tournament, what would be your favorite restaurant to go and sit down and stuff your face with? Just so I know where to treat you after your next win.
Ew, what the heck? Ew. Is it just me, or was that wink really creepy? She should not do that. I'm going to make sure she knows never to wink like that again. Well, first of all, it depends if she's paying or not. Hayley, doesn't really treat a whole lot, so it's easy for her to ask where we're going because she usually gets treated. But I don't know. Like if I have a good day of tournament, I'll maybe treat myself to a $9 or $10, foot long from Subway. And if it was not so good of a tournament, I might just, have an apple or go to McDonald's and get something super quick. But it really honestly depends on how the tournament went and how well I played is where I'll determine where I go for dinner.
So this next question, it might not be from a pro pickleball player, but it is from a group of Lindsey's biggest fans. So here we go.
What? Hey, Auntie Wee Wee, because you're so famous, do people ask for your autograph sometime?
Oh, no way! That's really, really cute. Oh my gosh. Those are all my nieces and nephews. Wow. Okay, so that was Brody asking. And no, I don't think a lot of people ask. I don't know. I guess I've been told I don't look super friendly, walking around different tournaments and stuff. So maybe that's a reason why. I still think Riley and I are pretty under the radar. So I don't know how many people actually know us. So maybe that's another reason. But to answer Brody's question, no, I don't think a lot of people ask, actually.
Interesting. That surprises me.
Oh, that made my day, though. Thank you for that.
I do have a follow-up question, though.
Okay.
Did he call you Auntie Wee Wee?
Yeah. Yeah. So that. So I'm Auntie Wee Wee. I don't know if you guys have kids or not, but for young kids, saying Lindsey is pretty hard actually. So when my oldest sister Jenny had her kids, we just kind of thought of the name Wee Wee because it was way easier than Lindsey. So now, you got to own it sometimes. It might be the most flattering nickname, but you got to own it.
I love it. That's great. That's actually not the only question from the Lindsey Fan Club. Here's another one.
Auntie Wee Wee, you ever get mad at Riley sometimes at pickleball?
That would be Jackson. And yes, Jackson, I get mad at Riley a lot. A lot. But again, we try not to show our emotions too bad. I mean, I guess according to some people, I'll do, the famous eye roll, or after he hit a ball that I screamed out and he still hit it, I'll kind of turn to him and dip the head a little bit, like, what in the world are you thinking? But more times than not, we're really, really happy to be playing with each other and competing with each other. And I hope he feels the same way. I think he does. But yeah, there's definitely times we are mad and we have long car rides or flights home. But we're both, we both have thick skin. We get over it pretty quickly, and we're ready for the next one.
This next question comes from one of our absolute favorite people in the world of pickleball. Here's a question from Michelle Esquivel.
Hey Lindsey, it's Michelle. I'm here at the Beer City Open location at Belknap Park. I was just wondering, I'm going to be going to Dairy Queen later on today, and what should I get there? I know you're a big fan of Dairy Queen, so let me know what I should get, and cheers to you.
Oh, Michelle, what a good question. I will tell you exactly what you should get at Dairy Queen. If it's between 11 and 4 o'clock, weekdays only, I would highly suggest now it used to be the $5 lunch. It's now that they've raised their prices. It's now the $6 lunch. I like to get the 3-piece chicken strips with fries, gravy as my dipping sauce. And then you can even upgrade your sundae, the $6 lunch. For $1 more, you actually get a small blizzard. I would highly suggest the $1 upgrade to your blizzard of your choice. I would probably do the Heath or cookie dough, one of the two, depending on my mood for the day. And then depending on what Dairy Queen you go to, for your drink, you can either just get like a soft drink, Sprite is what I would probably get, Dr. Pepper, that sort of thing. Some Dairy Queens will allow you to get a Misty Slush for free, which is, with the little, it's kind of like an icy at 7-Eleven. For free. Some of them will charge you, but either way, I think it's worth the up cost. So get a $6 lunch with chicken strips, a small blizzard, and hopefully a Misty Slush.
Well, for this next question, it isn't a video, but a couple guys that have made a huge impact in the world of pickleball sent us a question for us to ask you, and it comes from the founders of Selkirk Sport, Rob and Mike Barnes, and they want to know, what is one way pickleball has changed your daily life?
Well, first of all, it's all I do now. I used to be very involved in other things. I would ref basketball, I would play tennis all the time. I used to do all these fun different activities, but now it's straight pickleball. If I'm not playing, I'm either teaching or drilling or watching previous matches. So that it's changed that way. But honestly, it's changed my life more in that of the people I've met because of pickleball, and I've made a lot of really, really awesome friends, and it's helped me and Riley get even closer by playing and traveling and teaching together so much. So, pickleball has only done really good things for my life. I'll be eternally grateful to Mark Cook, who introduced us to the sport 3 years ago. And thanks to Selkirk, too, for bringing us on their team and letting us represent them, because it's been really an honor. And Riley and I have enjoyed every second of it.
So this next question is the final question of today's Pros Asking Pros Questions segment, and it comes from Lindsay's mixed doubles partner, which just so happens to be her brother. Here's a question from Riley Newman.
You saved the best for last. What's up, sis? Got a question for you. Tell the viewers what's been your most memorable experience on the road with your little bro.
What's up with this hair? Holy cow. Most memorable experience on the road. I don't know. We've gone to Hawaii twice now. I think anytime we can go destination like Hawaii to play pickleball, that will always be super memorable. We've also been places to, like Vail, Colorado, which has been super cool. I don't know if there's been one specific, moment in time, but, I think any time with Riley is a good time. And even though he drives me nuts half the time, he's fun to be around. And I hope, there are many more pickleball games and years to come with us on the same side of the court.
Pickleball addicting and fun, that's no joke. Pickleball and it's not just for old folks.